Could SOFI really become the next Millionaire Maker stock? Well, at this point, I think anything is possible, and being that they're disrupting the financial industry in a pretty big way, they definitely seem like they're on the right track and have the potential to become a much larger bank. You see, I think SOFI has been a rare bright spot amongst these hundreds of companies that went public via reverse mergers with special purpose acquisition companies during the 2021 SPAC boom. And not only is SOFI a financially stable business and well on the way to profitability, but they've also maintained some pretty nice growth momentum even during the 2022 economic slowdown. So although its growth has been fantastic, I still think there's a solid argument to be made that SOFI is just getting started. Here's a quick recap of SOFI's recent numbers, where it stands relative to other banks, and why it could still have plenty of room to grow in the years to come. SOFI's growth trajectory has been nice, and that's especially true given that 2023 has featured a tough environment for smaller banks. When a few high-profile regional banks failed during the spring, many depositors started pulling money out of smaller institutions and putting it in bigger ones. Yet, during that period and the few months that followed, SOFI did a great job of retaining its customers, in part by adding new features and products. For example, it set up a program with other banks that allowed it to offer its depositors up to $2 million in FDIC insurance, rather than the standard $250K. And not only that, it also continued to grow its customer base. In fact, SOFI added about 1.3 million new members in the past 2 reported quarters alone, and its growth rate even accelerated in the third quarter. The Galileo fintech platform posted its largest quarterly member addition since early 2020. Plus, SOFI ended the third quarter with $15.7 billion in customer deposits, a figure made even more impressive by the fact that SOFI got its banking license in early 2022 and started from zero at that time. So not only has its growth been impressive, but profitability is right around the corner for them. In fact, SOFI's management has said the company is expected to achieve GAAP profitability in the fourth quarter of 2023. And as the business scales, its cost structure, especially when it comes to customer acquisition, should improve dramatically, which means that profits should also grow quickly. Keep in mind though, with all that being said, SOFI is still a relatively small bank. Although SOFI's results have certainly been strong in my opinion, it's important to put into context just how small they really are. With about $28 billion in assets, SOFI is roughly the size of Simmons Bank or Glacier Bank Corp. So if you've never heard of either of those institutions, that's kind of the point. And even for some further context, SOFI is roughly 15% the size of Ally by asset size, and about 5% of the size of JP Morgan Chase, which is currently the largest US bank by assets. SOFI is also not the first fintech company to offer banking products that are superior to those offered by traditional brick-and-mortar banks. There have been other online high-yield savings accounts available for decades, but not one other company has been as successful when it comes to becoming an all-in-one banking replacement. And if the momentum continues to build, SOFI could have a lot of room to grow. In fact, their CEO Anthony Noto recently said that he expects the bank to add at least 1 million new members per quarter in 2024. And to be honest, SOFI currently has a strong history of underpromising and over-delivering. So if it can achieve profitability in the fourth quarter and continue to position itself as a true big bank replacement, SOFI is well on its way to a great 2024. So if all that sounds exciting to you, you can keep up with all my other SOFI videos, starting with this one right here, where I go over a brand new ETF related to SOFI. Thanks again, and I'll catch you next time.